Hi friends, it's Natasha. I have a yoga drills class on a yoga wheel. Mine is a 15-inch, but use what you have and just make the exercises work for your body. We're all going to be different here. I am blinking my fingers, prepping my wrists. Strong shoulders, nod, yes and no, circle around the wrists, palms out. Circle backwards while blinking the fingers. Circle forward, keep blinking those fingers. Feel those forearms start to fire. Over the head, elevate the shoulders and keep blinking fast as you can. And release. Inhale, big breath in. Exhale, palms heart center. Calming breath here. Relax the muscles in the face. Take an inhale and release any stale air or tension out of the body as you exhale. Inhale, stretch up, grab a hold of one wrist and take a nice juicy side bend. Both arms extend, use your core and pull back up. Other side, grab the opposite wrist and just tug it over gently. Then both arms stretch overhead as deep as you can go and exhale to come out of it. Gentle back bend, opening the shoulders behind the ears, and then we'll take it into a forward fold halfway. Press your hands out, rolling your wheel away like you're doing a downward facing dog, and just rock here. Take some breaths. Bring the back of your head to the wheel if possible and just hang out in a forward fold. Let your head hang heavy. Any tension in the neck, maybe shake it out, yes and no. Let gravity take over and then ragdoll yourself up. Take a gentle back bend with the wheel at the base of the neck, gently pressing in between the shoulder blades, heart to sky. We're gonna come into seated goddess pose, knees and toes wide. Have a seat, nice tall spine, hands behind the ears. Here we go. Side bend for 4, 3, 2, take your time and really find your edge, and then straighten the legs and toe tap across, forward fold, opposite hand to toe. Inhale up, exhale up and over. If you take Pilates, it's just like the saw, and we'll just sweep the body over, stretch, and come on back. So 4 of each. And you can go as quick or slow as you want to go. Bend the knees in, hands behind the ears, goddess side bends for 4. You can always adjust your wheel if you feel like you're not evenly distributed on it. It feels like it's rolling or going to fall backwards. I have a pretty light wheel, so I have a lot of weight in my legs. Straddle the legs and sweep the body up and over. Side stretch. Twisting across opposite hand to toes or wherever you can reach. And again, challenge the edges. Really use this whole 2 minutes to find strength, mobility, and flexibility. This time I'm going with straight arms. Maybe reach for the ground, stacking shoulders and ribs. Side bend for 4. And here I'm going to start to pulse my weight off of the wheel. Little goddess pulses here. Really working into those inner thighs and hamstrings and quads. Back to your straddle fold, opposite hand to foot. So you have a whole 2 minutes to get creative, explore the shapes. You can always do what I'm doing or even change it up a little bit. And time. Set yourself up in front of the wheel, seated. We're doing spinal rolls for the next 2 minutes. I'm going to just massage onto the back, starting in a nice deep squat and then rolling back. Here we go. Listening again to your body, how far you want to take this. You can start in your seated hover and let the body drape over the wheel. Maybe straighten the legs, feel the quads and hip flexors, and imagine your spine is just melting over the wheel. Should feel really good. You can drop the head back. If you are ready at some point, you can start to grab the wheel with the hands further opening into the shoulders, and possibly start to lift the feet off into this knee tuck position, like a little hollow back shape. And we'll straighten the legs and come on down. So again, you can just know that for 2 minutes, you're doing any kind of rolling on the spine that feels good for you. Going through a back bend, maybe a reach back and grab the wheel with the hands, and your option is to extend those legs. I'm doing some little toe taps here. Tuck, straightening my legs, and then coming back through to roll off. Take as much time as you need with the chin tucked forward if you feel like you were upside down for a while and you need a little recovery time, and then continue to explore those movements or creating your own. Beautiful job. Moving on to exercise 3, turn around and face your wheel. We'll take a puppy pose stretch into a core forearm rollout, either on the knees or up into plank. So just see where your arms have to be. Your elbows will have to be pretty close together to stay on the wheel. Again, one sit back puppy pose. See if you can bring the elbows forward and together as you sink the heart and chest down. And then press into the forearms, roll forward either in a hovering modified plank or knees come off into a plank. You can alternate. Again, just play and explore. Use the core, balance in a forearm hold if you can, and then really stretch out. So here I'm going to try to do one elbow on, one off, and alternate if you can't quite get both elbows onto the wheel. It'll be a little easier to do that in the forearm plank, to have those elbows close together, but for the stretch it might be a challenge. So here I have my left elbow on, my right's just hanging there, and then coming into the forearm, roll out into plank. Core on, shoulders engaged and protracting. Nice strong body. Awesome job. Give those shoulders a shake, crisscross, circle out the arms, whatever you need to do. Moving on to sit onto the wheel. We're going to take some forward folds and compression work for the core. Drop into a forward fold. And we'll start to just bend the knees and straighten, and then start to push into those hands or fingertips. See if you can lift one leg at a time and then both legs. It is very challenging. Your legs might not budge. You're just going to try, and the effort is the work. You need to round those shoulders like you're in a cat back and scoop in through the core. Push away from the hands and lift up through the pelvic floor, the quad muscle, the hip flexor. Do the best you can and just keep working on your forward fold stretching and your core compression leg lifts. They might feel really heavy. Here I'm going to change it up a bit and try to lift those legs while I'm seated in a nice little half boat balance. And then maybe trying to balance, grab the back of the wheel and try to balance in a boat pose. A little tricky, but fun if you get that hold. And nice job. Again, you have these whole 2 minutes to explore and use the drill that I give you and make it your own. Next one, low lunge. We're going to take our right toes or top of the foot down, and we'll start to lunge back, touch the floor, and then swing up, knees meet. We'll stay on this right leg for the first minute, and then we'll switch. So we'll continue to work our core for balance. And then of course our leg, our front quad is doing a lot of the work, hamstring, and then stretching into the right psoas and the quad muscle, really finding balance and control. You could even start to tuck the knee forward a little bit and then maybe start to split back a little bit. See how it feels to keep pressing back, maybe straighten the front knee if you're quite flexible in splits. So nice and slow, no need to rush. And here's where we'll change legs. Try and get your foot right over the center and then start to really lunge deeply, come up to standing. You want to be light in the leg that's on the wheel and really strong through that supporting leg. And again, you have the option to stretch back to as far of the split as you want to take. And that is your time. Moving on to a camel pose and a locust back extension. So you're going to try to bring your pelvis right to the wheel so that you can lean back and stretch. Here we go, camel pose, lean back, heart to sky. And then rolling over the top, try to lift the legs. So maybe you're on your forearms, maybe it looks like a chin stand, forearm stand, whatever the size of your wheel and your body, whatever shape that is, to lift the legs and use your back, your glutes, your hamstrings. So the sequence is one camel and stretch your belly onto the wheel and one glute squeeze lift. Again, it can look like a chin stand like this, or maybe you have the forearms down like this. Continue that movement, really working mindfully. Once you're going upside down and then forward, you want to work slow and listen to your body so you don't get dizzy coming in and out of those poses. Take your time, engage the muscles. Don't just whip your body into these poses. Active back, posterior chain. And then when you come into your camel, you have that heart proud to sky, using the back side of the body. Again, hamstrings and glutes are on. You can hang out in a child's pose if you just need a moment to drape yourself over the wheel before floating from pose to pose. Nice job. Same positioning. We're going to take a tabletop. So our left knee will be on the wheel. Our hands are under our shoulders, fingers spread wide, index finger forward, right leg back. Now go ahead and tuck the knee and extend it back. Knee to maybe armpit or tricep and extend it back. Leg lift, tuck, and glute squeeze, lift. So you can tuck and extend the left knee, or you can keep the left knee under the hip, a little bit easier. Listen to your body, strong shoulders, grip into the fingertips. We're going to try to stay here for a full minute, and then we'll switch to the other side. So keep fighting, and if you ever do need a moment to come off, just do it. Fun little option, you can bend the elbow and land the knee on and take a little flying split, keeping that left leg still connected to the wheel. Extend, knee tuck, or that flying split. Bend the elbows and extend the leg out. And let's switch. So our right shin is on the wheel now, and our left knee is going to start to tuck and leg glute squeeze back. Knee to tricep or up by the armpit and glute squeeze. Tuck and extend. Oh, I lost my wheel there. So I'm going to reset and keep going. Nothing ever happened. Tuck and extend. Again, you have that option to catch that little flying split by adding a push-up, chaturanga arms, elbows back. Catch that knee up on the tricep and extend the leg out, or continue those knee tucks and leg lift extension. You can straighten that back leg as you tuck to make it a little more challenging. It's already hard. And you made it. That was probably the toughest one. Next one, have a seat. Right up on the wheel, we have an abdominal slow roll, option to grab your wheel with the hands in a back bend, and we'll roll up and twist. Go ahead and come to seated, extend those legs out, plant the feet down, tuck the pelvis. Here we go, roll down the spine. Hands can come to the mat or grab the wheel in a little forearm wheel hold. Tuck the chin, reach the arms forward, come out of it, and then add a twist. Hands behind the head, rotate the trunk one way and the other. Start again. Roll down, slowly melting the vertebrae on top of the wheel. Grip on if you can. Drop the head back. Then reach forward, tuck the chin. You can assist your head with your hands, and lift up. Twist and twist. Continue that pattern and really work deep into the back bend. Take a nice breath. See if you feel a little more flexibility than when we are first rolling on the spine. Here's an option to lift the knees and find a nice tight tuck, and then tuck the chin and roll up. At the top, we exhale and add that trunk rotation. And now at the bottom, we add that reverse curl, knees tuck into the chest. Take your time. Use your breath. And rest. Go ahead and come to standing. We'll take a plank pose, 4 knee tucks, like we're doing a crow pose or crane with straight arms. We'll step off for warrior 3, right and left to get off the hands. Here we go. Set up your feet on the wheel, top of the feet, and tuck in, stretch it out. Spread the fingers, grip in. If you want to make this more of a challenge, get those hips up high and tuck the knees up towards the armpits, or you can just try to tuck as best as you can with the hips down low. Step off right foot, hands stretch out overhead, little warrior 3 balance, step down, switch feet. Nice and controlled. A lot of core for balance so you don't knock your wheel over. And back to plank. This time I'm showing you pike ups, lifting those hips up nice and high. Again, so you can play around with tucks or pikes to make it even more of a challenge. 4 of either style, and then you'll step off right foot and left for that warrior 3 balance. Continue with that pattern, strong shoulders, strong hands planted, gripping with fingertips and the pads of your palm. And come on down, give those wrists a little circle or shake. We are going to be back on the hands this time, pressing into wheels. So we'll have a seat, roll yourself back, plant your hands, fingertips towards the wheel, elbows forward, hugging inward. And when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and start to press up into wheel or Urdhva Dhanurasana and lower it down. So you might find that your wheel rolled. You're going to try to work that out by either kind of tapping it forward or back with your hips to get it right in that sweet spot where you can land on it. And make these really smooth and fluid so you aren't allowing the wheel to roll away as much as possible. Oh, a lot of upper body strength, but also the legs, glutes, back, whole posterior chain to find the strength to push yourself up. And then that huge stretch in the front side of the body. You can also just hang there. You can grab your ankles if you need a moment to just hang out and rest the wrists, and then go back in when you're ready. Maybe you try to lift one leg at a time as you come into wheel. At any point, you can come out of it and tuck the chin for a little counter stretch. Then try the other side, knee up, leg extension. Again, if your wheel kind of got out of this place it needs to be, see if you can just get your body to roll it back. No need to rush. Hang out in your wheel pose for a couple breaths if you like, or just relaxing over the wheel. You also might come out a little early and hang in a forward fold. Let your head hang heavy, maybe circle the wrists and take a counter stretch. Nice deep breath into the back body. And now we move on to our next drill. Come to kneeling position, grab the wheel in front of your body. We're going to take a headstand and rest the traps and kind of shoulder blades wrapping around the back. So go ahead and tuck the knees in and see if you can extend to headstand. Weight is in the forearms, and then you're draping your body to the wheel. So maybe try piking up, try tucking up, just play with that using your core for balance and to lift those heavy legs up. And you can start to lean into the wheel as you lower yourself down. This time, your option is to maybe start to tuck the knees in and roll your spine over the wheel. You can lift your head on out like a little hollow back body position. chin tucks forward, then drops in, and reverse curl your way back to your headstand. Slowly let the feet come down. So again, just use this time to explore whether you're playing with headstand or rolling back into that hollow back shape, back bend on the wheel. Legs can stay extended, and then tuck in. Use your core to slowly land the feet. Land on the feet and then just come off the head to find a little bit of space in the neck. We're not putting a lot of compression in the neck. When the head's down, we are using our forearms and the weight of our wheel to guide us. Again, you can play with just headstand work or rolling back onto the wheel. It's kind of fun. Just takes control from the core. Here I'm going to go ahead and play with some pincha. Just a fun option if that's in your practice, kicking up and trying to reach one toe to the wheel, and then the other side kicking up, trying to tap my toe to the wheel. Maybe send the gaze through. You can always pause this if you want a little more time to explore pincha or headstand work. We have one more exercise. Moving on to our final drill, we'll be working into forearm wheel. Give those hands a rest. Roll back when you're ready. And go. Reach back for the wheel. Drop in, and then see if you can press into forearm wheel. Lift the hips, press into those elbows. Try to keep the elbows under the shoulders, not splaying out. Continue just like we did pressing up into wheel pose. Try to work on pressing into your forearm wheel, creating space in the shoulders, sending the heart to the top of the mat. No rush here. You can play again with leg lifting. Here I tuck my knees under and I come into a little lightning bolt position. So you can come to the top of the feet and try to go through a little camel, grab on your fingers to your knees and allow your body to drape over the wheel here. So again, you're just exploring back bend shapes. We've gone through a lot of stretches and you should probably feel pretty open right now to explore some fun shapes. Come into forward folds to counter at any point. I'm going to end this with a little kick over. So if that's something you're working on, you can try to kick out of your forearm wheel. And you made it. Wonderful job. Take time to come into child's pose. Your body is pretty warmed up, so you might even further play with some back bends and anything you're working on in your practice. Or you can close with me. We're just going to take some nice deep breaths in your child's pose, melting that forehead to the mat, allowing space to come into the backside of the body with your deep breathing. Little cat-cow here, kneeling. And we'll bring ourselves onto our backside. Bringing your legs onto the wheel. If that's comfortable, you might need to cross your legs to get them to fit on. You can give yourself a nice big hug, wrapping your hands around your shoulder blades and switching. And then take a spinal twist. Drop your knees over to one side. Look away. Deep breath into the ribs. Big sigh out. And switch. Knees over to the other side. Melting shoulders, turning gaze away. Nice deep breath in. Big sigh out. And coming into a place of rest. I'm going to take my soles of the feet together, knees wide, Baddha Konasana, and just breathe here. Hand can come to heart and one hand to belly. Allow yourself to come into stillness after all that strenuous work. Maybe you keep the knees wide or you extend those feet out. And allow yourself to feel like you are surrendering, letting go, relaxing any tension in the face, and allowing that to float down the body and the mind. Allow yourself to enjoy this moment of rest. Sometimes we just need to stop everything and reap the benefits of slowing down. We don't always have to be go, go, go. You worked hard, you deserve this space, you deserve this time to do something healthy and good and honor your body. Stay as long as you like, or make your way up to the top in a comfortable seat. Bring your hands to your shins and just stir your spine, circling big circles one way and the other. Feel like water swaying, circle the neck, side to side, and then start to just bend over side to side, pushing off one hand and the other. Maybe the forearm lands. We can twist and lift. Any movements that feel good for you. And then just take another calming, cleansing breath for the body. Thank you so much for joining me today.